My name's Nick. I've been at Holy Trinity now for about 8 years, so I still feel like a relative newcomer compared to some people. As we've heard already from Andy about the fabric of the church, there are some very obvious and immediate needs, but there are some needs that are also a little bit more long-term and a little bit more out of sight, but nonetheless they're still needs. We've heard from Mike about the ministry, the mission and the evangelism that we do, and we want to continue to do into the future. So above and beyond is an initiative that is meeting these immediate needs, the ones that are necessary right now, but also securing our medium-term future. As Andy mentioned, some of the building work is being done in phases, and it would have been very easy for us to look at raising money to help meet the Heritage Lottery Fund match in phases. But what we've felt is that it's a better use of, a better initiative is to simply try to bring all of this together into one large initiative that will secure our future and our legacy, as Mike has mentioned. So therefore, we are looking to raise £250,000 over the next 4 years. That's quite a big number. How do we believe this will be achievable? If we look at current giving, we have around 60 givers or giving units. That might be a single person or it might be a family unit. And they give around £66,000 into the general fund. That's not including gift aid, because I'm not the finance person and that's just all a bit beyond me. This giving currently meets our needs in terms of the general day-to-day running. But as Mike's mentioned, the funding for Natasha and for Ben comes out of our reserves, and that is dwindling. £250,000 is £62,500 a year. Or if you want to go even further, it's £1,201.92 per week. If anyone wants to sign up to the 92 pence, you better be quick. Essentially, we need to double our income. And importantly, this needs to be above and beyond current giving. It's vital that we maintain giving to the general fund. The general fund supports the day-to-day running of the church. It pays the share. It pays for office costs. And as a member of the PCC, I can reassure you that we've done everything we can over the last 18 months, 2 years, to minimise those costs. There's a number of ways in which we can achieve this task. And I'm going to talk about each of these three things just a little bit more in a moment. Congregational giving. We're called to give. And it shouldn't be seen as a donation to the church, but about responding to the generous love of God in Christ. There are other opportunities, grants and trusts. We're already the recipients of the Heritage Lottery Fund income. And then there's fundraising. Regular giving is important. If, hypothetically, the 60 givers were to pledge an additional £50 per month each, that would be £144,000 over 4 years, again, not including gift aid. That doesn't include things like plate donations. That would leave us around £100,000 to raise in other ways. All of a sudden, a large number doesn't feel quite as scary. Grants and trusts can make a significant contribution. We've already applied for a grant of £15,000 to support the work. There's some interesting things about grants and trusts. The Heritage Lottery Fund money that we've got coming into the church is vital. Most grants and trusts require two things. One, they require the work not to have started. So we've still got a bit of time to apply for money for the roof. But the second thing is they require match funding. And we can use the income from the Heritage Lottery Fund to unlock money from other trusts. So if we're successful in this £15,000, then that's around about 5% of the total raised already. Other applications are ongoing. And then finally, there's fundraising events. We don't want the church to become focused on running events on a regular basis, but there's a number of activities that we could do that would bring in substantial amounts of funding, but also raise the profile of the church in the local community and bring people into this fantastic building. How can we play our part? After the service, you'll be getting a booklet I didn't have one, so I had to find mine. It looks a bit like this, and apologies to anyone if I've preempted their thunder for later in the service. This details some of the ways we can take part. Within it, there's a response form, and there's also an insert with some more information breaking down the need and also some of the opportunities. Direct giving is one way we can all play our part. One of the ideas in the form that I particularly liked was that if I didn't drink 2 coffees per week, I could save £3. Although I'm not quite sure where we're getting 2 coffees for £3 anymore. But if we were to save £3 on reducing our caffeine intake, that would be £312 per year, or £1,248 over 4 years. That would probably be good for my head, also good for the initiative. There's the opportunity for an interest-free loan. Again, I'm not a finance person, but the details are all in the pack. Legacy giving is mentioned in the booklet. And again, if you want more information, then we have a flyer, I think, from the Church of England on how to go through that. And then also, we want people to give through service. We want everyone to be involved in this project. And we recognise that people have differing amounts of time to give, differing amounts of availability, and different skills and talents to bring. Are you someone that can lead? Do you have ideas? Do you want to drive a concert or a new club or a new meeting or an outreach activity? Are you someone who wants to help organise those, either your own event or get involved in somebody else's? Are you able to participate? Not all of us have the time to lead. Not all of us have the time to organise. But could you be the person that fetches the chairs, or helps with refreshments, or is the welcoming committee? Because I think one of the things, if we're going to have this greater presence, we're going to need greater involvement. As we've already mentioned, we've been at this church now for 200 years. Above and beyond, hopefully, we'll secure the future of Holy Trinity into the 3rd century.